You know, Linda, it's one thing to know basically at least a portion of what this particular convicted murderer was going to say about his role in the murder of Tshegofatso Pule. It's another to take it back to the way in which she was brutally killed, and to think about how this life was so cruelly taken away. What did he have to say for himself?
Yeah, Kathy, and it's quite interesting given the fact that this time around he gets to, detail the events that led to Tshegofatso Pule's last moment in his plea. He did, in fact, give a summary of what happened, but in this time he gets to explain at length and get to be posed and asked questions around what exactly happened. Had it not been for Ntuthuko Shoba being charged, these kind of details would not be coming out because he's already serving a jail term of about 20 years. Today, he gets into the stand and really unpacks the plot to kill Tshegofatso Pule. He says he was hired by Ntuthuko Shoba, who at the very initially, he was supposed to be the person who facilitates. So basically, he would get Ntuthuko Shoba someone who would execute this crime. But he says it was because of greed, the love for money, and being selfish that he took this job at the cost of about 70,000 rands rather, and agreed to do it. He said what they would do, they would hang Tshegofatso Pule at a bridge in Maritzburg, and then they would write up a suicide note, after they've done that. But of course, you'll remember yesterday there was another witness who spoke about the McDonald's interview where Tshegofatso Pule was supposed to go there. This was a job interview which was very suspicious to herself and her friend at the time. And when the person who had arranged this interview said she was running late, she then sent a message to Tshegofatso saying that get into a grey Jeep that has already arrived there. Muzikayise comes and talks about this particular interview, and he says, well, in that particular interview, I was the one that was supposed to pick up Tshegofatso Pule in that grey Jeep. I was the one that was driving the grey Jeep, but she did not pitch. Now, this was 6 days before she was killed. So by her not pitching, it would seem, Kathy, that she cheated death.
And again, it's a story of a young woman who in some ways has been struggling to find employment, finds herself in this situation, and to think of the fact that they were willing to exploit that as a way to try and kill her.
Yeah, in fact, Muzikayise Malephane even goes as far as saying when he saw that Tshegofatso was not arriving at the said interview, he then called Ntuthuko Shoba, who then gave him her number. And she says that he tried on numerous occasions, on numerous times during the day while he was waiting to reach her, but she did not answer. And he later left. He says he informed Ntuthuko Shoba, who was seemingly annoyed by this particular plan. But 6 days down the line, the state brings out evidence from the car tracker which places Ntuthuko Shoba at his girlfriend's house, at Muzikayise Malephane's girlfriend's house. This is where Muzikayise lived. He says on that particular day, Shoba arrived, and he said again, this would be the day Tshegofatso would die, because she would be visiting him in that evening. This was the day that we heard would be the day that she was supposed to be going. They were planning to go and buy the clothes of the baby. She says, of course, he said that he would then inform him when she arrives, and that was when then they would be able to pick her up and then carry out the crime. It is on that day, Kathy, that we do know that Tshegofatso Pule in fact died.
It's incredible to see how relentless both these individuals were in trying and in ultimately succeeding in ending Tshegofatso Pule's life. Linda Mnisi is watching that trial for us. That's where we'll leave it for now.